you by the Pendas Law Firm.
Welcome back. In today's Legal Lowdown, we're making Jacksonville a safer and healthier place. And joining me today is Lou Pendas, the owner of Pendas Law Firm, and very special guest with him this week, David Garrard, owner of Retro Fitness and good friend of mine and former Jaguar alumni with me. Let's talk about this partnership, Safer, Healthier Jacksonville, with Retro Fitness and Pendas Law. How did this come about?
That's exactly right. Well, I met David some time ago. We got to talking and we realized that we have a lot of the same philosophies and a lot of the concerns that we share in the Jacksonville community, and that was a natural team up with his Retro Fitness and our firm. Being a personal injury lawyer, unfortunately, I see a lot of tragedies, drunk drivers, texting and driving, which has become a national epidemic, and it's causing a lot of accidents and a lot of deaths. So we're very concerned about it. And
David, your business, you got your Retro Fitness, but you have a different approach there.
I do. We're actually working with, like Lou said, we got together maybe a year or so ago, kind of talking about this, and we've actually been working with a lot of the physical therapy offices in the area, and we're really trying to help promote people that are recovering from injuries to find a place where they feel safe, a place that they can feel comfortable enough to attend after they get out of those offices, and we think Retro Fitness is that place. We believe it is because our personal trainers care, and they're educated well enough to be able to help with anyone going through anything. And you know, somebody that's been in a training room for most of my career, I know when you get injured, you want somebody that's there for you. You want somebody that's there caring about your needs, and that's what we do, and I know that's what Lou is trying to provide as well.
Very much so.
For your clients, I mean, that's when they come in, and whether it's an accident, workplace injury, or an accident in the car, you know, texting and driving, like you mentioned, besides helping them with their legal matters, you guys want to help them with physically and emotionally getting past what's happened to them, right?
Absolutely. It's rare when we get hired after an accident and that individual knows exactly what he or she is going to be doing in terms of treatment and whatnot. They look to us as their lawyer for a lot of guidance. So we oftentimes have a list of doctors and physical therapists and gyms, in this case Retro Fitness, where they're looking to get better. And so we really do our best to make sure that they're on the right track and they get healthy and back onto their regular lives. Because these things are very traumatic, as you know.
And as they're transitioning out of those physical therapy offices, they're still scared. They're still concerned. A lot of those people never been in a gym. And so we're trying to provide a space, a place for them to come to that they can feel comfortable, that they can continue to grow mentally and physically as they're trying to get stronger and healthier from whatever injury that they had, and then they can find that, oh, you know what, I can still live a healthier and happy life after my traumatic injury.
Yeah, in our cases, when we spent time in the training room together, David, we put ourselves in that situation.
Yeah.
We knew we were getting into something that could hurt us. But a lot of these people that are coming to you after seeing Lou, this is new territory for them. They didn't plan to get hurt, and now there's a lot of uncertainty and fear.
Yeah, well, with working with some of these physical therapy offices, you see and you hear it from the actual trainers that are there that say, well, we need to make sure that we're finding a place for these people that they can feel comfortable, because they've never been in a gym, and now they're coming from an injury, and so they don't understand. Like, I understand my body. I've had to listen to it every day. It's got some pains and aches when I wake up in the morning, but a lot of these people have just gone through life and never really have had to kind of listen to the body, and so now they're having to do that, and they want to make sure that they're not going somewhere where they just get thrown to the equipment, or they get thrown to a personal trainer that's trying to put on 30 pounds in their body. They're not trying to do that. They're just trying to stay healthy or get healthier so they can just continue on living a happy life.
Do you find that your clients, after they've gone and they're going through this and have a kind of that comfort in getting better and knowing that they're physically going to be okay, do you find that helps them in handling their case?
Absolutely. You've got to remember, these folks, most of them have never been in an accident, so this is all entirely new. The reality in this is that when you have a situation where you get into an accident, oftentimes after you've gone through your therapy, after you've gone through the doctors, after you've gone to the gym and you try to maintain a healthy lifestyle, oftentimes these folks still live with some level of pain. You as an athlete, David, know this. So it's a lifetime commitment, and that's why I think that this association is really going to benefit Jacksonville. It really is. Healthy and safety.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Both like-minded, and seems like a great partnership. Appreciate you guys joining us, and good to see you again, David.
Absolutely. Thanks. And
we'd like to thank Pendas Law for making this segment possible. And remember, if you want to get more information from them, you can just go to pendaslaw.com or call 904-800-0000.